So good morning. If you can hear me, you can tell me good morning on the chat. You can tell me good morning on the chat. Thank you so much. I can see the chats. So we are starting, and today we are doing a marathon. So we're going to do the tax trends as we always do every month. And then after an hour, I'm going to do something else that is close to my heart. So I welcome you if you have time. I know some of you came in because of tax trends, but if you have time, you can still proceed with us at 11, and we can switch and do something different. So karibuni sana, I can see your chats. You can share the webinar to a friend. Share to a friend. It is free of charge. Just share, tell them that we are on so that they can come in. Just tell them that we are on so that they can come in. So if this is your first time to join, you can tell me a yes. And you can also tell me where you're watching or you're participating the webinar from. So you can tell me a yes if this is your first time. I can see somebody telling me in Uganda. Okay, thank you so much. So Christine from Nairobi is saying yes. And Jacob, yes, yes. Oh, I can see many yeses. Yes, yes. Okay, okay. So for all of you that this is your first time, I take charge. I welcome you to these webinars. We always have them every month. And we start from the tax friends that we do most of the time the first week or the second week of the month. Then we do another webinar the third Friday, that is next week, Friday. I'm going to share the details, and we're also going to have a very interesting topic on that day. It will be about managing taxes. So what you can do, you can go on your social media, Facebook, and Google RWK and Associates, CPAK, and you can follow us, you can like us and follow us, and even LinkedIn. And then when we always have this training, you can just come in and learn. So for the essence of time, I would want to start off. So karibuni sana. Make sure that you tell a friend to just come in and we learn about tax trends. So a lot has been happening since the last month that we did this webinar. And when we were doing the webinar that time, we were talking about the finance bill. I remember it was going through public participation and the hearing in the parliament, and then all of a sudden the things happened. And I don't know how many of us participated in the Gen Z movement. And for now, the rejected finance bill is there. So I'll talk about the future. What happens now? So I'll also talk about that. So this is a content for today. I'll talk about the budget, the finance bill, and the appropriation bill. I hope we saw it being signed this week. So I'll talk about it. And then I'll also talk about post-withdrawal finance bill 2024. So what does that mean? And what are some of the changes that have happened because of the withdrawal? And what is the progress, or what is the process until possibly before we start getting another one? We also have the current changes in iTax. If you have checked, your iTax has gone through some few changes. So I'll mention a few. Then I'll mention about the SHIF, Social Health Insurance Fund, the Progress Housing Levy. I still think there's things to just mention. E-teams have always been a hot debate. I'll mention a few issues about e-teams. And then effected taxes for Finance Bill 2023. Remember, we had Finance Bill 2023. If we get time, I'll also talk about it and a bit of some changes of the taxes out of it. So what is a budget? I know I'm talking to people who already know some of those things, but for us that would want to know more, because in June, that is when we had the finance bill in progress. We had the budget, we had the tax policy, we had so many revenue, midterm revenue reports. So there were so many things that were happening and so many reports that were coming in. So what is a budget? This is a comprehensive financial plan that outlines the government projected revenues and expenditure, just like the budget that we do in our offices, in our homes. The country also goes through a budget process. So they budget, these are the monies, these are the projected revenue. And if you remember the budget for the fiscal year 2024-2025, the projected revenue was 3.9 trillion, almost 4 trillion. And we felt it was a bit ambiguous and ambitious. But when we come to the level of the projected expenditure first, so the government want to spend 3.9 trillion. So where is the money coming from, the revenues? So they come back to the revenue. This is our taxes, their loans, their where are they going to get the money from? So it is both sided. And when we compare, even I believe this week, KRA really were able to release their report that in the fiscal year 2023-2024, they were able to raise 2.4 trillion. So when we talk about the 2.4 trillion against a budget of 3.9 trillion, the gap is too high. And that is where the finance bill comes in. So KRA, the government had projected that year 2024-2025, the government, KRA, can be able to raise 2.9 trillion. So for them to raise the 2.9 trillion, again, is what they raised 2.4 trillion, we needed a finance bill that was going to do a bit of a changes when it comes to new taxes. So the finance bill is a legislative proposal that outlines the government taxation plans and financial regulations for the upcoming fiscal year. So the moment they realize that there is a gap, first, how do we bridge this gap? We bridge this gap by doing more collections and introducing new taxes and borrowings, both locally and international. So they bring how to bridge the gap. And one of it is through the finance bill that does changes in tax. So there was an introduction of new taxes and other physical policies, and of course some enhancement of some areas. Possibly for e-teams, they could say they had stated that they're going to do they're going to have a penalty, a penalty, so that there's be more will be able to and comply to it more. So it is on different areas, on compliance, on new taxes, physical policies, to just make sure that the collection is done better. So the Finance Bill 2024 was supposed to raise about 350 to 400 billion, just to add on it. So I'm going to share what that will mean if we don't have it in place. Appropriation bill, so we saw this being signed, is a proposed law that authorizes the expenditure of government funds. So remember, when you saw the budget, and some of you, we discussed the budget last time. So I've just mentioned something very, very small. The ministries and different government parastatals and the different counties, they are allocated different amounts. So for those funds to be released to the counties, to the government, to the right places, the appropriation bills comes in. This looks at the budgeting, how the ministries were able to budget. Remember, when they are given, for instance, agriculture or education, is, for instance, I don't remember the amount. Let's give an example. They have been given 10 billion. Then that 10 billion has to be on priority issues. Remember, this money is not kept somewhere. So there is no money that is somewhere kept for now after collection a whole year, then the other year we spend. No, this is money that is being collected and used at the same time. So there is the KRA and other government, there is grants that are coming in. This money is being collected on this side. But on this side, there is an expenditure that is supposed to happen. So this money is released on priority basis. So what do you need this month? So that is how appropriation bills comes in, and it authorizes the expenditure of these government funds. So how is the interconnection of the whole? So budget is planning, finance bill is helping the government get more revenue. Remember, and some people are asking, do we need to have a finance bill every year? It's not a must, but if the monies have to keep if the government has to keep raising the budget being high, then finance bill will always be required. The appropriation bills, I've talked about it. So what does it mean to have the post-withdrawal finance bill 2024? So what does this mean? So after pressure, and I know some of you were very happy with the progress. After pressure, the president was able to withdraw the finance bill and send it to the parliament and withdraw. At the moment, it's like a total withdrawal. So what does this mean? First, the president has assented the appropriation bill 2024. I've also mentioned that. But the finance bill 2024 was supposed to raise about 350 billion to 400 billion. So what does the government now has to decide on how to raise these funds? So these are some of the president's instructions so that the gap is not there. So the president instructed the National Treasury to prepare supplementary estimate to reduce government expenditure by 346 billion. So if you remember, when they are talking, they are saying that this will not be happening. They will not be able to employ the teachers they had promised because of the finance bill. Of course, I still believe, because this was a 3.9 trillion budget. So out of those budget also, they could cut out on different other other expenditure, not cutting on the essentials. But we have had these discussions, and they talk and they say, we will not do this and this because there is no money. And that is the effect of finance bill. Of course, the 346 billion could be cut on other issues like the government's expenditure and so on. So the government is supposed to reduce the estimates by that money. Also, the president directed that the 346 billion in spending cuts be borne equitably by both national and county government. So, so also the counties will not receive a bit of the money. The president refers the county allocation and revenue bill back to the parliament for changes to reflect the reduced revenues. So when they cut off the revenues, now it has to go back to the parliament so that they can do the changes. Remember, they took the Income Tax Act, the VAT Act, and all the others, so that the clauses could be changed so that the finance bill fits in. So it has to go back there and do the necessary changes on whatever they had instructed. He also directed the Treasury to submit amendments to the Division of Revenue Act 2024 to Parliament. So, so these are the changes of the revenue, the cutting, the specific estimations and how the reduction will be happening on the specific ministries and the specific areas. Until the supplementary estimates are approved, the president has limited spending to only critical and essential services, capping it at 15% of the budget. So all this has to happen very, very fast so that the whole process and the budget is approved and everything is able to progress well. Also, the president announced the dissolution of 47 states of cooperation with overlapping functions. So they say that there were some state corporations that had overlapping functions. So he's yet to state. So these are just reductions. And of course, we saw yesterday, when we were doing this, we felt we put here that the cabinet secretaries have been put on hold, but that is a bit political. The president also removed the budget lines for the first lady, the spouse of the deputy president, and prime cabinet secretary. So we also saw those changes of the budgets. So this was just to make sure that the Finance Bill 2024, which was supposed to raise the 346 billion, is going back to the budget and reducing so that that gap is not there. So when the gap is so long, remember the government end up in borrowing. And we also mentioned about the borrowing, and according to statistics, we are at the ceiling for borrowing. So there's little to do when it comes to borrowing. So they need to really cut down on those expenditure. Okay. So also, I felt it was important to know that the Finance Bill 2024 also had some few positive sides. So we also, I'm also feeling that as they rediscuss it in Parliament, and as they cut down on the expenditure, they can also uphold the benefits of the finance bill so that they can be effected. Some of them were the exempted of small businesses and farmers with the turnovers of 1 million from the ETIMs. So this was mentioned by the president that the businesses below 1 million and the farmers below 1 million turnover per year will be exempted from ETIMs. So I'm just hoping that this will be made, this will be able to pass. Extension of the amnesty period for the next 9 months. So I'm also hoping that they can be able to put it there. The increase of VAT threshold from 5 million to 8 million, for me, I felt that was very positive. So also the increase of time frame for issuance of objection from 60 days to 90 days. So these are some. There were quite many, or I have more. Increase of tax exemption threshold for monthly pension contribution, 20,000 to 30,000. So allowing up to the tax exemption, tax exempt retirement savings. So that was a plus. Made contribution to SHIF fraud, retirement, medical funds, and affordable housing levy tax deductible expense. So this was important to companies. Of course, I know we do this, but also making it as in the act also makes it a bit better. So the contribution for the employer, the cost the one we do for SHIF, affordable housing levy, is a tax deductor, as an allowable expense. So reduce the export and investment promotion levy from the high of 17.5% to the maximum of 2% of the customs. So this mostly was to encourage the export. Then they proposed to delete provision allowing taxpayers to lodge a claim for refunds of excess tax, simplifying the process. So simplifying the process of refund claiming. So these are several, there were many, and they were very positive. So I'm also hoping that as they discuss the Finance Bill 2024, they can be able to uphold some of this positive side of the Finance Bill 2024. So possibly you can give me a comment on the chat about the Finance Bill before I go to the changes in iTax. I want to mention some changes in iTax. So remember, this is the tax trends. So we always talk about what is trending when it comes to tax. And remember, tax is always revolving. There's so many changes that happens. So before I mention, possibly for you who is there, you can tell me what is your feel about the Finance Bill 2024? Okay, so everybody is quiet as you try to figure out. So as you try to write, of course, if you have a question, you can put it there. So what is the current ITIMS threshold? All businesses should be registered for ITIMS. All businesses should be registered for ITIMS. So that is what is there for now. So Carol is saying Anguka Nayo is the best. Okay. Let me talk. You can continue asking a question and a comment. So let me continue to the changes in iTax. Let me continue with the changes in iTax. There are some key things that I would want you to take note when it comes to iTax. So one of the major issues that have happened, and I know some of you have seen it, is a posting of legacy debt in iTax. So posting of legacy debt in iTax. So you can tell me on the chat if you have seen that. They have sent you an email, and if you check your KRA iTax on the payment, you can be able to see this legacy debt there. And they're asking that you provide documentation. Remember, this documentation is documentation of arrears past 2015 when iTax was introduced. So from 2024 to 2009, a lot of debt. Some of us have sent us emails of KRA claiming 30 million, others 50 million of this iTax debt. First of all, for me, and I don't know how many Gen Zs are here, the law says, or the rule says, that KRA should ask us for data and information past for 5 years. So past five years is null and void. So when I look at them asking us about details of 2009, 2010, that is about 16 years ago. So most of the clients don't even have this documentation. So for me, I felt it was a violation, and I feel if they required to do this, they should have done 2015 or 2016 when they introduced iTax. So, but we don't know what will happen. So for you who has this legacy debt in your iTax, you can try to find documentation. And for companies that are able to keep documents with 10 years, 15 years, then you're lucky because you can be able to solve those issues. So for you who have not checked your email or checked your iTax, you can do that. So that happened about 2 weeks ago. Missing payment credits for employees. So there are some of you who are claiming when the employer is paying for your pay as you earn, you don't find it on your iTax portal. So they've been able to correct that. Tax return processing. The auto approval of IT1 amendment return for personal relief. So some of you, when you are doing the return, you could not find the personal relief amount. So they've been able to correct that one. Amendment of turnover tax rate to 1.5%. Remember, the turnover tax was at 3%. So in March, around March, there was an amendment that was done to reduce it to 1.5%, so that to accommodate the affordable housing levy at 1.5%. So for the companies that do turnover tax at 1.5%, they are also supposed to do the affordable housing levy at 1.5%. So the total comes to 3%. So if you check the turnover tax, you can see the rate has been changed to 1.5%. Changes of VAT return version. So the VAT return version is at 15.0.8. So make sure that you're able to download the new template. So for some of you who have the template already on your laptop, make sure that you download the new one, because when you come now to upload or to import it back, it will not accept because the version is not the same. So make sure that you're able to do that. Invoice checker. So invoice checker is on the portal of iTax. So you can see invoice checker there. So the invoice checker has been added or enhanced to capture additional details. So you can be able to get the type of the invoice, date of transmission, the name of the buyers, that the PIN captured for the seller. So it has more information. The changes of viewing excise returns. Some of you are saying they were not able to view excise returns. So you can be able to view it very well. Duplicate entries on migrating taxpayers credit from ITNR. Those are income tax for resident and income tax for non-resident. So some of you are claiming that they were duplicate entries. So they've been able to correct on that. Payment module. So for payment, you can generate a generation of payment slip for MRI obligation. So some of you are claiming they were unable to get the payment slip for MRI, especially for newly registered taxpayers. So when filing, you found it difficult in generating the payment slip. So the issue has been resolved. Declaration of prepaid excise PRNs, similar. Challenges generating PRN for interest on CGT. For us, this is something that we had tried. So if you had interest expense for capital gain tax, sometimes you could not be able to find it so that you can pay. So you can now do that. Generation of payment slip for withholding VAT default assessment. Generation of installment tax using previous year's prediction base. So when you go online to do an installment tax for year 2024, remember it is based on the previous year 2023 profit. So profit plus 10%, how you calculate the installment tax. Profit, previous year's profit multiply by 10%, they assume that you're going to do 10% more, then you divide by 4. So you find the system already has done that calculation and it is requiring you to pay that money. But now you can be able to predict, you can be able to change and pay the amount of money that you want to pay. So I don't know if some of you, I guess those are the changes that I'm having. I don't know if you post some of these challenges, you can now. So for me, the biggest that I can mention on the changes is the posting of legacy debt in iTax. That one you can check. And if you have those emails and you'd want to handle that case, by the way, you can talk to us and we can help you solve those iTax issues, the legacy debt issues. So that is something that we are doing for our clients. The rest, possibly the VAT return version. We also saw that in the month of June, the auto-population of VAT. I guess I didn't check that one. My co-host, you can check if the auto-population of VAT return is happening. Last month, we had a lot of issues when it came to the auto-population. Actually, the auto-population accepted on 19th or 20th. So it was posing challenges. Also, we saw challenges in eatings. I'll mention about eatings. So possibly let's talk about the SHIF. So the changes for SHIF, SHIF, that is replacing the NHIF, is that it was supposed to be launched in July. Now it is launched. It is proposed to be launched in October. So they say that it is because of issues with the ICT. So as a company, some of you I know have been able to adopt to the new rates. So you can do that and start changing to the new rates. The new rates are okay. The outer population is working. So the outer population is working for VAT. So the new shift was beneficial to the small, to the staff that have lower incomes. So you can pick the new rates and you can do a calculation. What is the difference? And possibly you can even find that the new rates are more beneficial. So you can start adopting as we move on. Also, you can do, every employee is supposed to do registration to the shift so that they can enjoy the benefits. So you can register with the star 147 hash. My co-host, you can write it on the chat. Star 147 hash. And as a company, you can also facilitate that change. And you can even do it online or on your phone. So housing levy. So housing levy has also been a debate, and possibly the changes that I would mention on the affordable housing levy is that the affordable housing levy is also supposed to be remitted by landlords at 1.5%. Remember the residential, the monthly rental income tax for residential properties, it is at 7.5%. So you're also supposed to do the housing levy at 1.5%, and they're supposed to be filed differently. For people who do turnover tax, you're supposed to do the 1.5% for turnover, 1.5% for housing levy, and you file them differently. So there have been an introduction of residential individuals who pay the housing levy are entitled to a tax relief at 15% of the employees' contribution, subject to a capping of 108,000 per year. So this relief is deducted from the gross tax computed, thereby lowering the tax liability of the contributor. So the tax relief at 15% is already on the portal. So if you check the payee portal, you can be able to see that one. So that one is new. You can check on that. So also some of you saw a challenge last month, the registration of property in MRI, the monthly rental income tax. So there were some changes that happened when we were filing last month. And some of you who filed earlier, I guess this change happened around 17, 18, 19 there, before 20th. So when you went to file the MRI, the monthly rental income tax for residential properties, the system was asking that you register for the property. So for some of you who did not register, this you have to register for it this month. So this is what you're supposed to do. So this is what you're supposed to do. So when you open, it's going to post that question. Dear taxpayer, kindly register property first to proceed with the return filing. So that is what it is going to alert you. And then this is the information provided. So this is what you're supposed to do. File the required information as there. So the building, the street, the county, the title number, the district, the building particulars, number of floors, estimated units, building type, estimated monthly rental income. So previously we just file. So sometimes we did not even specify the building is where or those details. We didn't even give the title number or the property name. So even some of our clients, or I know some of you have different, so many properties, but you are just filing it as a block figure. But now KRA want to know more details about those buildings. So you have to fill in this, even the estimated number of units and the monthly rental, the estimates. So this also poses an audit query that the moment they now start doing surveillance, these are some of the data that they're going to use. So if you're able to mention the street road, the county, So apologies for that. Okay. Apologize. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Guess when I'm talking, sometimes you don't know the okay. Okay. So you can tell me if you can hear me now. Okay, that's okay. Well, okay, sawa. Apologize for that. I don't know what you did not hear the last point, so you can tell me where should I go back to, or so can see someone is asking, is it okay if you have different building for MRI when you're doing that registration? There is the add section, so you have to add each building one by one. So if you have 10, they are there. If you have 5, you should be having all of them there. Oh, registration of building. Oh, okay. Okay, let me go back there. Let me go back there. That was far because I've also discussed housing levy. Um, so you're supposed to do the number of floors, the estimated units, and there is this add button you can see. So if you have 5 of them, you put the details, you add. Then you go to the next one, you put the details, you add. Okay. So the housing levy with no VAT. So this is how you do it. So this one is for people who are doing MRI because they are supposed to do the housing levy, and the one who are doing TOT because they are supposed to do the housing levy. And remember, because it's a requirement, especially for landlords who are doing the MRI, it is very easy for KRA to be able to collect the affordable housing levy from you because it will be 1.5% on your gross rent. So if you don't pay, because I know some of you are not paying, come December or come next year, KRA is going to pick all your rentals because you filed for rentals every month. And then they're going to do 1.5%, and they're going to send you that letter with penalties and interest. So I would urge you to kindly comply. So this is how you do it. You go to the payment registration. After you go to the payment registration, this is you're going to go to the tax head, agency revenue, then the tax subhead, housing levy, then the self-assessment tax, and then you're going to have the month there, and you're going to do the affordable housing levy as an agency revenue. Then you do the add, and then you submit and get an e-slip. We talk about e-teams. This is where I remember I was. So e-teams, so you can give me 10 minutes and then we do some question and answers. So e-teams, we talked about e-teams last month, and I understanding e-teams, and I really took you through what e-teams entails, how you're supposed to do the filing, the everything. But I want to mention about the stock management module, that e-teams is also monitoring your stock. So I didn't do that photo. Possibly I will do next time on the stock module on e-teams. So when you get it, when you register for your stocks. So for instance, if you're selling if you're in a shop selling spare parts, you have to put all the spare parts that you're selling there on the stock. So that now when the customer comes to buy, when Regina comes to buy, you're going to describe that Regina is buying one piece of what? Or one piece of tires, or 4 tires, for instance. And the stock in your stock reports is going to reduce. Then when you purchase, and this is where easier recording of purchases, when you go to the dealership of the tires, Yana Tires, and you buy your tires there and you give them your PIN, when they register that, when you come to your eTIMS system or eTIMS machine, whether you're using the laptop or the machine that you bought or you've downloaded, when you look at your purchases, you're going to see that purchase there. And you can accept the purchase. The moment you accept, I taught this last month, when you accept that purchase, that stock goes directly to your stock module in eTIMS. So what does this mean? So for some of us who do VAT, and when you're doing VAT, you do a lot of purchases, and you do all your purchases via eTIMS. But when you come to sell, you don't sell on eTIMS. So some of them you're selling cash, others you sell and you don't use the eTIMS. The stock module is going to catch up on you. So at the end of the year, the stock and the purchases that you've been making, they are going to show a lot of stocks that you're having in your shop. But yet you don't have those stocks. You already sold them. So over time, KRA is going to raise, it is going to be a tax trigger. So KRA is going to raise, is going to send you that data telling you in this year you purchased goods worth this month, this much, but your sales is this much. So where are these stocks? So there is going to be a trigger, and they can even come to inspect the stocks that you're having. So that is something that I would really want you to monitor, so that when you're engaging eTIMS and when you're using it, you make sure that you're using it properly. So for some of us who have services, or you don't have a consistent business, but one time someone tells you, for you to sell to me, you need to give me an eTIMS. Remember, eTIMS is eTIMS Lite USSD, which you can use on your phone. You can go to a cyber and they can give you an eTIMS invoice. You can do an eTIMS on your portal, the iTax portal. So you don't even have to have the machine, or you don't have even to download. So you can have a business, possibly you're just doing once business per 3 months or one month, and you use eTIMS Lite. You don't even have to be VAT registered. So for you, you have to understand that come year 2025, you'll be required to do corporation tax, or you need to do the business income and show that year I was able to do business worth 1 million, and this is my business income, these are my expenses, and this is my profit. So you can no longer go ahead and do a nil return, yet you used eTIMS. So if you use eTIMS, you know that you're supposed to do a return. Whether you're not doing it on a monthly basis, next year you have to do the return. So I hope you've been able to understand the stock module, how you're doing the purchases. And remember, eTIMS is facilitating the auto-population of data, the auto-population of the VAT return. So if you want the auto-population to happen and to be smooth, you have to use your eTIMS properly. When you're selling and when you're purchasing, all your suppliers, you have to provide them with the eTIMS invoice with your PIN number. And when they give you that eTIMS invoice, you can come on your eTIMS portal and look at it. You can be able to see it on your eTIMS machine, on your eTIMS portal. So if you're able to use it properly, then the auto-population of the VAT return will be smooth, will not have issues. So if you need more on eTIMS, you can come when we are talking about eTIMS. So we have the online, the version, the virtual, the one that needs integration. I guess for the companies that need to do the integration with your ERP. So your ERP, you integrate it with eTIMS. Now we have more companies on the KRA website that you can use, and they can give you the services of integration. I know it is very expensive for integration, but because integration are needed by companies that have so many point of sale, you have so many, the ERP possibly is huge. You can consider that cost so that you become tax compliant. So before I give the questions, let me talk about some of the taxes that were affected from the Finance Bill 2023. So this was in continuation of the Finance Bill. So it became to the Finance Act 2023 when the bill passed. So this was the mandatory use of the eTIMS. So this was effected in January 1st, 2024, that every business has to be eTIMS compliant. The turnover tax was increased from 1% to 3% effective July 2023. So when the affordable housing levy came in, this was changed to 1.5% to cover for the affordable housing levy. The threshold was lowered from 50 million to 25 million for gross turnover tax, annual turnover. This was for turnover tax. The tax amnesty was introduced, effected from July 2023 to June 2024. So the amnesty period lapsed that year of June 2024. So we were hoping by the Finance Bill 2024, it will be extended. The reduction of MRI, this is the monthly rental income tax, from 10% to 7.5%. This was to accommodate the affordable housing levy at 1.5%. So you're supposed to do both of them. Introduction of a housing levy, 1.5% by employer, 1.5% by the employee. So if you remember, this was some of the things that made Kenyans go to the street. So out of this, I'll mention what? I'll mention the new pay rates. There was an introduction of the rates, 35%, and also that 2.5%. Previously, they were introduced until 30, but we now have 32.5%. We have 35%. The withholding of sales, promotion, marketing, advertising. So for you who do the corporation tax, and you did the corporation tax, and you had the advertisement, the marketing, advertisement, and sales promotion, make sure you did the 5% withholding. So if you did not do that, so that one KRA will come to ask for the 5%. So because of time, let me answer your questions. Let me answer your question. So, and we also have the taxation masterclass. I don't know how many of you are coming to learn. We have a full 2 weeks of learning tax, and we are the best in training because we are extremely practical. So we are starting on Monday, 15th. It is going to be 2 weeks, so 5 days, 5 days, and at a discounted rate of 12,000. So you can talk to us and on the chat and tell us that you are in today, and we can consider, I don't know, with my co-host, there's a benefit for the people who are online to benefit on this. So we also have a webinar next week on Wednesday, tax implications in the wholesale, retail, and distribution business. So we always have a sector-based tax training. So that sector-based will be handling wholesalers, retailers, and distribution businesses. So that will be on Wednesday from 10 to 12. So you can come, there will be the registration right there. You can register if you're in this business. So these are wholesalers, either any wholesaler, could be food, could be construction materials, could be clothes, any wholesaler, retailers, could be supermarkets. You have your shop, you have distributors. All that line will be talking about the taxation master. We'll be talking about the tax implications in that line. Some of these businesses are the businesses are really targeted when it comes to revenue collection. So you find that even wholesale, retail, and distribution, KRA is always looking for you because of fast turnovers. Some of you have huge turnovers, and we'll talk about those implications and how to make sure that your business scale and still you're able to be tax compliant. So we also talk about managing tax audits. So the tax audit will talk about a Friday. This will be on Friday next week. And this is a very good topic because this period of time from mostly August to December, this is a time that KRA always sends so many letters, return review. They want to audit you, they are calling you, they are sending, they're just looking, especially now that most of us have done returns. So from August to December, you always find that KRA audits so many companies. So this is a very good discussion to understand the tax audit process, the objection process, tax tribunals, how do you do that? Resolutions, tax resolutions, how do you go about the whole process? And what is the expectation of you when you're being audited? What are books that are required for audit? And some of you ask, why is my company always being audited? I also talk about audit triggers. What are some of those triggers that that can trigger audit? So most of the time, a company should be audited within 5 years, but there are some triggers. If you pass there, you're always on audit. So which are them? I'll talk about them on Friday. So with that, we are RWK Associates, and we always host these trainings. You can talk to us and we can help you on your tax issues. And as you talk to us, let me answer your questions. Let me answer just a few questions. And kindly, if you're looking to understand more on taxation, come to the taxation masterclass, and we're going to give you a certificate. You're going to use that certificate for CPD, and you're also going to really learn. So my co-host has shared forms. So if you need to register for the masterclass, or if you need to also, you can share the calendar booking. If you have a personal query, sometimes some of you will not want to talk about it here. You can do a calendar booking. It is free of charge. And you can just come in and we can answer your personalized question. Where can I find your previous webinar? Are they recorded? Yes, we have a YouTube channel. You can go to our YouTube channel and also subscribe. So you'll not find everything. We just started it, I guess, 2 or 3 months ago. So you can just listen. As an employer required to register for shift. I guess my co-host, you can share with me. What I know is that the employees are supposed to register. So is the company supposed to register for it? I guess that one we can check. There was an issue of reprinting with the holding certificate on iTax. It seems it's not been resolved yet. So thank you, Timothy. I guess I just mentioned some of the issues that they mentioned that they had worked on. Remember, iTax is a system like any other system that we are using. So they keep changing and they keep resolving issues. How can we check the housing levy return in the portal? So how can we check the housing levy return in the portal? I don't think there is anywhere because it's an agency notice. My co-host also can mention that. You can tell me because it's an agency revenue. Oh, okay. So I've been mentioned that if you're here and you need to learn the master class, the offer is that the 12,000 you pay 7,000, then the 5,000 you pay before the 2 weeks are over. So that is the offer. So that is the offer. Okay, so that is the offer. What is it meant by legacy report? So James, that's a good question. I don't know if it was answered. The legacy report, this is, if you remember, before the iTax came to be, we were using the manual system. So there was the manual system. Then there was a system that was called legacy. That was also online before iTax came in. So that system had penalties and interests. Like now, if iTax is not functional and they bring us another system altogether, the penalties, the arrears that are on iTax has to be transferred to the new system. So they have taken all these years to now bring the penalties and interest in that system to iTax. So if your company had penalties and interest and principal that were not paid in the legacy system, they have now been updated in the iTax system. So if your company was not functional in 2015, so this is for companies that were there 2015 huko nyuma. So you can check and find the and see. And they updated and they also sent an email. So you can also check your email. So eTeams is becoming an accounting system as well as, yes. So eTeams is web-based, is an accounting system. It has the stock module, the purchases. If you are here last month, I really shared everything. So you have to input your stock, you have to create a customer. So you have to create your customers on it on iTax, on eTeams. So you're even creating customers, you are doing purchases there, you can credit notes. So it is a very nice system, of course, for tax collection. So I guess with that, I can call it a day, if you allow me. So eTeams is not sending OTP codes. So some of you are also mentioning some good. Also, we had a circular that that KRA was what? Was supposed to do, was supposed to verify our phone numbers. And they were supposed to send OTP codes the way eCitizen does to our phone numbers. I've not seen that, but the circular was there. So they just wanted to make sure that our phone numbers are the correct ones on iTax. So I've not seen that, but the circular was there. Possibly they can release it in a minute. So with that, I can call it a day. I hope you've been able to learn a bit of the trends. So let's meet on Wednesday for the wholesalers. And then we can also meet on Friday for the management, the tax management. So Owiso says, I gained much knowledge on tax webinar since, okay. Okay, tax supervisor. Okay, we have a tax supervisor post. So for some of you who wants the job, you can look at our guess where. It's in Brighter Monday and apply. So thank you so much. I want to switch to another webinar, but I'll still use this link because I want to wear a different hat. So we last about a year, 2 years ago, I was able to do something that is from my heart. So I'll be talking about goal setting, and I'll tell you the journey to be able to do this. This is the second time that I'm doing it, and I felt it was important to do it because it is heavier. So we did it in January, so now it's July, and I felt it was important to just mention something and to just see if you're able to set your goals and how far are you. And it is a very interesting topic for me, and I'm going to share more details as we get into the topic. So if you want to leave, you're free if you came here for tax. But if you want to hear something interesting about me and about what I'm going to train you today, you can stay. So you're going to give it 5 minutes, then we start off. So good morning. We can proceed. We can proceed to this interesting topic. So let me see if I can be able to have a few questions. So if you're here for the goal setting masterclass, you can tell me a yes. So okay, so I see the yeses. Asanteni. And before I give you a personal journey, I want to ask, did you write your goals for year 2024? So that one, okay. So theirs was here. So for the ones who have their goals, I want to hear, I want to see, I want to see. So James said not really. So James, tell me the reason why. So for the ones who are saying no, why? Windy says yes, I did right, for sure no. So why did you not do that? Ama we, okay. Ama sisi ni wale wa graph imechorwa. Fear, I did not to meet them. Fear of failure, I can see. Procrastination, yes, okay. So what is the reason for you not writing them or not for you not doing them? Some of you call it resolution. This year I just wanted to live and be happy. No pressure. Oh my goodness, I love your answers. Okay. Uh, I did, but it has been very difficult to achieve them. So I'll talk about writing and achieving them. So I'll give you a formula of achieving them. James, the challenges I went through 2023. So most of us are posing challenges. So let's see what the webinar has. And for me, so let me share the notes. So so today we're going to learn, I'm going to do the introduction of the topic and the importance of setting goals. And I'm going to give you the 5X formula of goal achievement. So this one, I'll give you a guarantee. And I'll give you a percentage of guarantee when you're able to follow the formula. And then I'll talk about the journey of goal achievement and how to achieve your goals faster. So for you that says, I feel afraid, I had challenges, so how do you overcome that? And then you're going to do an exercise at the end of the training. So I'll start with a personal journey and why I came to this. And I've been doing trainings, especially for tax Since 2018, 2018 was the first time that I started doing physical tax training, and until today. So during COVID, that is when we understood what was webinars. Previously, we just hear that people can learn online, and we couldn't even implement. We did it during COVID, and we've been doing it. So I've stood out as a tax trainer, as a tax consultant, and that has been my positioning in the market. But I realized deep down, when among peers and among business owners and among people, I had something that I was able to encourage people to go for their dreams. And I realized that for the past over 10 years, I've been able to set my goals and dreams and see them being achieved every year. And I felt that this was a topic that I could be able to talk about and be able to encourage more people. So I'm very sure that as you learn today, you're going to be encouraged. And out of there, we opened a Facebook page. If you go to my page, Regina Kengori CPAK, you can see there's a notion where we say cheerleader of dreams. Actually, when I got that name, I was like, how do I put the tax expert and the cheerleader of dreams together? So, but I felt I just needed to just share, because sharing is caring, and sometimes you don't have to do. Of course, I do tax training out of a passion, and out of them we have incomes, and we do tax consultancy and so many other things. But I do something more from my heart that I don't want to gain money out of it or just to encourage somebody. So that's why I'm doing this, and I'm going to encourage you today. So if you go to my page, Regina Kengori CPAK, you're going to see that. And per week, I talk about how to achieve your dreams. I always have a topic that you can be able to just learn and learn something. So what is the importance of you setting your goals? You bring clarity of your life. You know the direction that where you're facing. And most of us don't want to define that journey because we feel afraid. But the moment you are able to understand and clarify where you want to be, then the journey becomes very, very easier. It helps you focus. So if you know that this year I'm supposed to be in school, or if that was your goal, you work towards that point. So some of us, when I'm interviewing, for instance, when I'm interviewing young people and they come, and possibly they are just coming as interns, you find somebody at 25 years or 23, they are coming and out of university, they have done their degree, they have done their CPAs, they have done so much. But when you find somebody who just done a degree, and you ask them, why did you not do CPA when you're doing your degree? And they look like surprised. They're like, oh, I could have done it. Why? Because they did not know what they really wanted. So that they did not focus. So that focus brings things together. It makes you move towards a particular direction. And it also facilitates funding towards that different direction. Some of us don't set goals because we don't have money or we don't have financial challenges. But the moment you set your goals, I always see finances aligning to that direction. So they keep you motivated, they measure progress, you're able to measure progress. If you said, I'm just leaning on the education side. If you say that I should finish this diploma within 2 years, you can mention, you can see this is first semester, second semester, you can measure progress. They help you, they increase confidence. So the moment you find that whatever you wanted, you're getting it, you're able to get confidence. And it also gives you confidence to go for higher goals or higher levels of whatever you're looking for. They help you in time management. So when you don't have those goals, and for instance, if your goals was to become a manager, for instance, in your workplace, you start looking for areas. How do managers behave? How do they manage their time? So you're able to align even your time. If you're supposed to be in school, to do your assignments, to be somewhere, you are able to align your time. They help you make better decisions. So if for instance, the goal for the year was for you to buy a car, or you said, this year I'm going to save money, then next year I'm going to buy a car. If a car comes along the way, you can be able to make that better decision. Some of us have so many loans and debts because we don't have plans and we don't have goals. So when someone tells you, oh, you can buy this, you're there buying, or you can have this, you're looking for Fuliza, then because you didn't have a plan, you didn't have a goal that this is what I wanted, you take control of your life. So goals help you take control of your life. So I'm going to give you a testimony, and then we're going to go to the 5X formula of goal achievement, which is the core of this training. And you ask me questions at the end. You can ask questions. So the 2023, so come January 2024, when God gives us life and health, and I'm very sure that He's going to give us. We're going to give a testimonial for 2024, but today I'm going to stick for 2023 testimonials, and I'm going to give you this formula. So last year we set to win awards, and we won 6 awards. We had never won any award, so this was a goal that we had set there. And then on that page that I call the cheerleader of dreams. We started it in 2023 January with zero followers, and the target was to be at 50,000 followers, and we did it. We got global business, that was that goal. We got media attention. It was one of the goals, and I also was able to attend personal development courses, which I set out as a goal. So how do you do these goals and you make sure you're able to achieve them? So this is a formula. Formula number 1, you have to set SMART goals. So this is, first of all, the place where we lose, and I would want you to understand how to set SMART goals. So how do you set that goal, which is very smart? Number 1, you have to be specific. I want a salary increase. So this is the example that I'm giving in this, in the specific. What do you really want? And let me share here, you wanting something is not being selfish. Some of us feel that when you want something, you're selfish, like you're wanting too much. No, this is your life. So you're putting issues on the table. This is what I would want, because this is you. And I always feel like God has given us all opportunities, but we don't say, this is what I want. So what do you want? I want a salary increase, and it has to be measurable. How much? I want a salary increase of 20,000. It has to be achievable. So in your area of work, how can you be able to achieve the salary increment? Do you need another job? Do you need to be in a better position? So the achievable is by becoming a manager. If you say, I want a salary increase, that is a big one. You need to state how much, and achievable. How can I be able to achieve it? By becoming a manager. by getting a new job, if you're in sales, by selling a new product. So if you're in sales, I want to increase my sales by 20,000. How do I increase my sales by 20,000? How do I increase my sales by 20,000? I need to sell 500 units of my product. If you're in service, I need to give this number of services per month. So you have to specify so that it can be achievable. Then it has to be relevant because I want to rent a house. Some of us want money, but we don't know why we want the money for. So if you want that salary increment, you just don't want it to so that you don't know for what reason. If you don't have a reason why you want the salary increment, it will not come. So you have to specify what is it for. So I want it because I want to get a better house, to rent a better house. I want to buy a plot. I want to go back to school. I want to buy a car. I want to take my children to a better school. Okay? And then it has to be time-based. By when? So that is how we are setting a SMART goal. So this person wants a salary increment of 20,000 per month by becoming a manager or getting a better job. And because they want it, because they want to go back to school and do a degree course. And by June 2024, June imepita. So by December 2024. And you write it on a paper. So let me try. And as I try, you can also try on your side. I want a salary increase of 20,000 by December 2024 because I want to buy a car. The moment that money does not have specific area of what you'd want, you might not want to save to go to school, or you don't want to, you can even say that 20,000, 10,000 will go to my savings. I don't know how many of us do savings per month. So you can say 10,000, I want to do saving, 10,000, I want to rent a better house. So you have to want that thing so that the rest of everything flows together. I will achieve this by selling. So this is somebody who is selling 500 units of the soap per month if they are selling soap. So you have to even specify that 20,000 is not coming from the air. First of all, it's not a miracle. It's not spot pesa and what else? What else do we do? No, it has to be predictable. You cannot say that I'll be spending 500 shillings of my salary to bet so that I can receive. No, it has to be predictable and achievable. So let's set another goal. I want to launch my ministry by September 2024. This will allow me to serve God in my purpose. I will achieve this by completing a Bible course, praying and fasting one week every month, by visiting the sick. So I want to launch a ministry. So it's not just wanting. So if you say today, I have a ministry of youth, I will launch a youth ministry, for instance, and you stop it at that point, it will not be achievable. You have to go back. What is the purpose of this ministry that you want to launch? How will you launch it? You have to discuss and in your mind, you have to understand the entire process. So I want to launch the ministry. What is it required? Just answer those gaps and see the possibility of you launching that ministry. So what are some of the categories of goals? First of all, the exercise is for you to achieve your goals. to set your goals. That is the exercise that you're going to do. So I would want you to set goals in these categories: spiritual, family, financial, personal development, health, and wellness. Spiritual goals are goals for your spirituality. I know some of you here would not want to set that, but I would want you. So spiritual goals could be, I'll be going to church every Sunday. I'll be doing prayer and fasting every week. One day, so you can specify the day. I'll be doing, so spiritual goals are exactly that. So family goals could be, I'll get married this year. And you complete the entire process the way I've shown you back there. So also, I want to get married. It's a good one. Let me go back here and give it an example. I want to get married. Very good, very nice goal. But let's complete the process. What do you need to get married? So you cannot say that I want to get married and then no. You have to complete the entire process. And this is the person that I'm looking for. And where is this person located? Are they in the church? Are they in the workplace? I'm not a marriage counselor, so let me post there. But you have to complete the entire process so that the whole, because you have to be aligned at the location where you can find this person. Otherwise, the whole goal will not be complete. Financial family could be you also having a family, you have children. You can post that I want a happy family, and this is the areas we will be going out every week. I'll be going to, and family can also go to extended families. I would want to take care of my parents. And this is how every month I visit them, I send them some shopping. You have to complete the entire process. Don't make it ambiguous, make it very achievable. Financial, so financial is the goal that I've shared here. The salary increment could be a job title, could be buying a plot, buying a car. Those are financial goals. And then the other one is personal development. And I'll talk about achieving your goals in the next slide. Personal development is one of the key areas and key spaces where that if you master your personal development, you can be able to achieve your goals better. So always have that personal development goal. So this could be, I will take a short course in this area, in leadership, in time management, in personal. Could also be every day I'll read a book. 30 minutes, you have to go further. 30 minutes at what time? So it's not ambiguous. So it is 30 minutes at night at this hour. So make it as specific as possible. You can say, I'll be listening to a YouTube podcast in these areas at this time. So that's how you specify. And you also, personal development could be also going back to school and doing a course, doing a degree, your master's in that area. Health and wellness. So health and wellness could be on your health, could be on your weight, on your eating, on your sleeping, on just your health, on you taking supplements, on self-care, on that area. So these are some of the things. And all of us, when we are setting goals, we are totally different. So set your goals according to you, according to your space where you're in, according to your what you'd want your future to look like. So some of us would want we look at other people. Just understand yourself, understand your purpose, so that you can be able to set goals in alignment to that. And we are setting goals for, mostly I recommend 1 year, but you can do from July until December, and see what are some of the goals achievable that you can be able to do for that period. Set 2 goals in each. Sometimes you may find that you have so many financial goals than the rest, but still okay. But I would recommend at least you set 10 goals to the minimum. So after we set goals, what do we do next? So this is formula number 2. So formula number 2, this is a visualization. You have to create a vision board. So this is where now we are getting serious. So the goal, the writing, now you know how to write it. But now we are getting serious on what we want to do. We want to create a visualization tool for your biggest goals, to create pictures and words that you can constantly see them, to help your subconscious mind stay focused. So how do you do this? You're going to get pictures like the way I've done my vision board, if you can be able to see. So this one I downloaded. So you're going to have your written down goals somewhere, 10 of them, and then you're going to have pictures, Bible verses, quotations, printouts, and then you're going to put them in a board. So like this. So if it was skincare, if it was health, if you wanted to graduate, if you wanted anything, and you can specify if you wanted to get married, you can choose a wedding gown. If you wanted to graduate, you can choose somebody who has a gown, and just choose what you really want from the goals. So from the goals is where we are picking the images. And it is a very fun exercise. It is extremely fun. And you can do it as a company. You can do it, you can do company goals and you do it as a company. You can do it as a family. You can do it as an institution. You can do it personal. So this is, you find other places where they are able to do this and they put it in the company's vision board. And they are able, every staff is able to see the future of the company. And it creates an image of the future or what they are looking for. So that is the vision board. Sorry, I jumped to that one. Then you're going to go to number 3. You're going to pin them down. So both the goals and the vision board, you're going to pin them in a location where you can see them every single day. So this is how you're going to pin them. Somewhere. You can pin them on a wardrobe, on a cupboard, on the wall, on the bed, any location that you like, you can just pin them. And you look at it every day. And when you go to institutions that want to build, if you go to churches, for us that go to our church, if we want to build a better church, we always have those architectural drawings set on the boards, set on the somewhere, a location where everybody can see, so that everybody can know that this is the church that we want to build, or this is the company that we want to build. Similar, just set it on somewhere. If you want to build a home, just set it somewhere that you can be able to see it. If you're in a family setting and you've done it as a family, you can set it somewhere that every member of the family is able to see, even the children, because they keep reminding you. They keep reminding you. You say that you're going to buy as a car, so they keep reminding you. And the more reminder you get, the more everything. It's not a stressful moment. It's a moment to energize you. So the goal setting, the whole entire process is not to put you off. It is supposed to make sure that you feel motivated. So make sure that you're able to put it there. If you stay alone, just put it in a space where you want. Some people will put 3, 4 different spaces. So that is still okay. So we have written them, we have created a vision board, we have pinned them somewhere that you can see. We're going to number 4, and we're going to pray and fast for your goals. I don't know how many of us are able to skip food. So if you're here and you're able to skip food, you can tell me and pray. So this is what you are going to do. We are going to pray. We're going to pray and fast for them. And because I believe in the word of God, everything that we ask for belongs to God. So do you have that time that you can pray? Because God has time to answer. So the vision board that you have created, the goals that you have, present them to him. He says that we have not asked anything in his name. That is the word of God. So ask and you shall receive. So what is that you want to ask? Some of us just go there and whine. We cry, especially when things are not going the right direction. After whining and praying and crying, we don't state, this is what I wanted. So the moment you lose a job, that is the time you're crying, but you did not even say, this is what I wanted. So that is the moment for you to go for a prayer retreat. Make sure that you pray. And I encourage you, if you really want your goals to come to pass, do this on a monthly basis. So do it on a monthly basis where you set time to really go through them together, through them, look at the vision board and pray and keep believing on God. The final one, number 5, is that we are going to give a sacrifice or a seed for your goals. And this is where the road meets the tire, or the tire meets the road. This is where we offer a sacrifice for our goals, for the space for the journey that we want to take. So this is where you pick your savings and place them at the altar for God to see as seed. So when I talk about seed on the social media handles, some of you really make comments. And we don't want to hear that story. We don't want to hear the story of a seed. But let me tell you something. For you who have not been able to see your goals come to life, this is a space. This is something that I really want you to try, because it breaks the codes of delay and it makes sure that whatever you're looking for comes faster. So where do you give? I know some of you don't want to hear this, but in the church, where you have a bishop or a pastor that you can trust and you can offer a seed. Some of us don't believe in that, but if you don't believe in that, and I don't want to push you for that, we have parents, we have family members that have been a blessing to us. You can sow a seed to them. You can sow a seed to the needy, to the society. There are so many spaces out there that you can give. And giving is not giving time. You know, some of you will say, I went to the needy or to a children home and I did ABC. No, you have to get a gift. You have to get a seed and sow that seed. So some of us, it's just something very, very small, but it can break so many cords. For instance, for our parents, some of us keep working, but we cannot even give our parents. We can't even take a shopping home. So this is something that I really encourage you, because for me, I believe money grows when it is given out. When it doesn't, if money is concentrated on you yourself, if that thoroughly in a month, by the time month end, there's nobody else who took a shilling from you. It was just rent, everything, everything was surrounding you, nothing left you. It will not grow. And that is the sheer truth. It will not. So if you want it to grow, you have to give it out. You have to sow a seed. You have to sow a seed, and opportunities to do this are always there. You pay for your sister's school fees. Your sister calls you and tells you, I have this, you give them. So the moment you are in an abundance point of view. I know some of us are posing a lot of challenges when it comes to economy, but this is something that I want you to try. When you move from the complaint side of finances to the abundance side, that I'm having a lot that I can give. I can give 100 shillings. I can give 500. When you go to the side of abundance, somehow the financial constraint starts to break off. So that was a by the way, but you need to sow a seed specifically for your goals. And the very first one that I would really encourage you is if you have somebody that you trust, that you can give them, and you can, especially the minister of the word of God, and give them and pray. So you go in there with a seed specifically for the goals. These are my goals. I've come with them. I have this seed and I'm bringing it to the altar, and you pray about it specifically. That works much, much better. So what is the journey of goal achievement? So those are the 5. So let me see your comments. Let me see your comments. Let me see your comments on this. So have you ever done something like what I'm talking about here? Some of you I know are here in January when I train about this. I know some of you are here when I trained about this. So I want to hear if somebody was able to follow the 5 formula. So if you're able to follow the 5 formula, I want to see. Okay. So I can see your comments. Okay, I'm starting to do this. Maybe that's why I didn't achieve my goals last time. So, okay. Let me see. I want to see somebody who even tried 2, even if was just 2, not just even 3, not everything. If you just tried 2 or 1. So I can see somebody saying possibly they fast. I'll do so. Mostly we set goal, but we don't go the extra mile. That is very true, Rachel. We don't go the extra mile. We don't pray. We don't fast. We don't sow a seed. And this is something that you're not just doing once. Sowing a seed, you can sow once, but you have to do it. You have to do the prayer and fasting all the time. You have to set time to actually do, to review, and for you who even want to go the extra mile, you can read them on a daily basis. You can set 5 minutes in a day to just go through the goals, look at the vision board, pray about it. So you make it a daily routine to just go over them, just think about them, and don't feel stressed. This is a time to just motivate you. Pick that session to be a motivational space. Okay. Thank you. So let me, okay, I can see. We'll go for that for real, going extra miles. All right. So I love your comment. I love your comments. So today I'm sitting on the cheerleader of dreams seat. So for you who wants to quit employment and go to being self-employed, you have to set it as a goal and you have to work towards it. We live life so ambiguous, like everything should flow however direction it feels like. No, if that is truly something that you desire, when will that be? Will it be 3 years to come, 5 years to come, 10 years? And you just work towards that specific area. Actually, this year and I'll talk about coaching and mentorship. Possibly, let me give that comment at that particular level. So what do you want? For me, the challenge before I move to the five formula, what is your what do you want for your life? You have to get to that level. What do you want? And when you do, could you highlight that life that you'd want and you put it in a paper? Because that is one of the key areas for you to be able to do that. I want to be an ACCA by December 2025 because I want to be a finance manager. Good. Okay, I will achieve this by doing 2 papers per sitting. Perfect. So that's so perfect. So, but you can also consider finances. So what amount of money would you need for you to do those papers? And if you need, for instance, the 2 papers are costing 10,000 per session or per term, or 20,000, how will you get that money? So you complete the entire process, even the money. So if it is 20,000, I'll be doing savings of 3,000 per month so that I can be able to do this. So make it as achievable as possible. Okay, so let me continue. We've set the goals, we have fasted, we have prayed, we have sown seeds. So how do we move from there? Because a full year is 12 months. So we're having 12 months in a year. So now we're in July and some of you or some of us did this in January. So what have we been doing the whole of the other months? What do we do? So this is what I want to talk about. So this is what we do, the journey of goal achievement. So how do we walk this journey? First of all, you have to believe. The belief has to be there with you all the time. Whether there is a finance bill, whether there is Generation Z, whether there is Madamano, or the belief has to be there. You have to believe on the goals that you have set. You have to believe on God who makes everything possible. So you have to believe regardless all the challenges that are happening. You have to be focused that whatever I want, I'm going to achieve it. So some of us, when we are building, and today when I've talked about here, you go back and you'll be very motivated and you're going to do those goals. But come out after 1 week, you start not believing. So you have to believe and guard that belief. When you lose that belief, you lose the focus to look at the goals. The goals that you set and the vision that you did becomes now an intimidation. It becomes a center. When you look at it, you feel fear. You feel not achieving. It becomes a source of discouragement, and yet it was supposed to be a motivational site. So you have to believe, and you have to guard the belief. How do you guard this belief? So today, after we do this, you have believed. How do you guard the belief? You have to do a separation. Separate from people who give you negative energy. Separate from politics, from spaces where it gives you disbelief. Go back and see what are spaces where they give me disbelief, and do a separation. So this is something that you have to really choose to do, because some of us, we have so many things. For instance, let me just mention friends. You have friends, and the moment they see you waking up so early, you're coming to work, and even colleagues at work, they start asking you, hey, what do you want to become? And you start sharing. And the moment you just mention, where's the manager? No. So you have to guard that belief. You have to do a separation. There come seasons in life that you have to stop and make the campus change. So if you're not at that particular point when you're feeling desperate for change, when you're feeling like you're not moving, you're moving in circles, you have to pause. And the moment you pause, you have to do a separation of issues so that you can guard your belief. So I hope that is a huge topic. So, and this is something that I would want you to just explore. Then you have to take action. Take action every day. Every day take action. So for instance, if you said you wanted to buy a plot, start looking for that plot. If you wanted to go back to school, start looking for that school. Look for the admission, just moving, start moving. If you wanted to buy a car, start going to the garage, knowing to the car showroom, start knowing what was exactly what I wanted. Start getting room. If you don't have space for the parking, start looking for that. You have to take actions towards the belief. Then you have to monitor progress. So we say that we are pausing to read, to look at the vision board. So now June, this is a time to July, this is a time to monitor progress. Since January, what you started, just monitor progress. Where am I? At what particular point, where am I at this journey? Just monitor the progress. Sometimes you may find that you wanted something and there are changes that are happening. Changes are good. So you can change and say, this is now. So the goals are not static. They are prone to changes. So you can make change. Of course, not to make changes to just downgrade everything. No. So monitor progress, celebrate small wins. So when you win, be happy. So when you win, when you wanted to go back to school, when you just registered, celebrate. Just put a tick, at least I've registered. When you get an admission letter, tick. I got an admission letter. The first day you go to school, you tick. You went back to school. So celebrate those small wins. Then stay positive. So the belief and the staying positive, you have to really stay positive, whether the President Ruto is in government or what, whether they do the handshake, whether maandamano stops or not, you have to stay positive. Especially for us who are doing business. Let me share something here. Because for us, we handle so many businesses and we are able to look at financial statement of many businesses. Some of us say the economy is very tight. People are not making, there are businesses that are making money. 100%. There are some of my customers who set goals. Their goals are to double sales and they are doubling, and we are in July. That goal for year 2024 was to double sales. They are already doubling their sales. And at that time, the finance bill 2024 has come and fell. And they did not care. So you have to stay focused. You have to stay positive in all seasons. Of course, if there are businesses that were supposed to be in city center and now you've been affected by maandamano, how do you go back to the drawing board? That how do I still achieve my sales, yet my shop is affected? And it's not just your shop. Can you go online? When you're staying in the house, can you go online? Can you have a customer when people are moving up and down, you can deliver something to them? Can you sell? Can you send that border to deliver? You have, when you are at home, can you do social media marketing? Can you learn better? Can you go on YouTube and get something? Or are you stuck on the TV looking at how people are getting to parliament? So this is a challenge that I'm giving you. At that particular point when things are not okay, how do you make use of that time, focusing on the goals that you have been? Because these goals will not drop from the air. They have to be worked on. So stay positive, create disciplined habits. So this is the final one, and I know most of us are challenged at at getting disciplined habits. This is where our biggest challenge is. So for you to become what you want, what are the habits that you're supposed to do on a daily basis? Are you required to wake up early? Do you require to go back to go to work early? What are the habits of that person that you want to become? And set them straight and achieve them. So let me give an example. Some of the habits, some of us want to wake up early, yet we cannot sleep early because we are in TikTok. So how do because the person that you want to become, next time I'll talk about personal development and creating a better version of you. The person that is want to achieve these goals is totally different from this person of today. You have to create those goals. You have to create the habits that makes this person. And habits, the success journey is not ambiguous. It is not simple, but it is clear. Let me say that it is not ambiguous, it is clear. So you can be, it is there, it is online. If you go online and you see the books, thousands and millions of books have been written about habits of successful people. So it is, the formula is always out there. Therefore, but as we don't want to use the formula, you want to sleep, you want to watch movies, you want to gossip, you want to go to maandamano, you want to not to work. When you go to work, when you're opening a business, you don't want to go sell the product, but yet you want the success at the end of the day. So the habits has to be created. So go learn. What are the success habits of the person that I want to become, and start implementing them every single day. So create a workbook. This is what I would want to do. And the habits also monitor the time management, how you manage your time. So you put them together, time management and the habits, you put them together and you're able to achieve every single day. Of course, when you're starting, this is a journey. You fall down, but you wake up the following day. Have self-love. This is not something that you do in a day. No. You may find that you're energized for 3 days, the fourth one, you're like, no. But you have to keep moving. You have to keep moving. Otherwise, the person that you want to become, the only limitation of that person or that goal you want to be, it is you. I guess that one did not sink. It is what you want, let me say that, what you want, the only limitation to you getting it, it is you. Yeah, it is you. It is not your boss, it is not your customer, it's not your parents, it's not Ruto, it's not the cabinet secretaries, it's not finance bill. What you want, it is the person who is not getting it is you. So you have to sit down and decide that from today, I'm going to work towards making my life better. And when you do that, you're going to create habits, you're going to progressively habits, you're going to monitor your time, you're going to do the goals, and you're going to focus on them and so many other things. So let me finalize on this, the final space, before we go to the questions and before we look at the, we do the exercise. How to achieve your goals faster. So how do you now achieve them? This is a journey. What you need to have every single day, do every day. But if you want them faster, what do? You have to do personal development. And this is something that I've learned the hard way. This is something that I've learned. You know, the way you say, I want a big company, I want what, I want to go global, I want to go where. I've learned that where I want to be, I have to create a different version of myself, personal development. So this calls this calls upon learning. And some of us stopped learning when we left school. So if you want to be a tax consultant, what do you need to learn? The Tax Act inatosha na hivi. It's so it's so big. Do you need to learn it? You need to get more interpretation about it. You need to go more. Do you need to go to KRA, get more reviews, learn? You need an hour. Let me tell you, by the way, this is scientific. If you want to be an expert in a field, and actually for me, I've not even achieved this. If you want to be an expert in a field, you need to study that field 1 hour in a day. Do a study in that field 1 hour every day for 10 years. Then you're going to get a global recognition on that field. So that is being an expert in the field. But what about the other issues? Personal development. Do you need to manage your money better? Financial management, learn. Do you need to have more better interpersonal relationship? Learn. Do you need more a better relationship? Even marriage counseling is always there. There's so many. There's every single detail to learn at every field that you'd want. So go down and sit and say, what are the areas do I have deficit, or what are my area gaps? What is my knowledge gap? Let me say that, knowledge gap in my life. And you can even tell people to help you. Most of us don't not even understand ourselves. Kuna ile tunaita Johari window, when what people see in you, what you don't see, you can learn about that. But you can even tell people, what can I improve? Especially people that you trust, and they can give you feedback, good feedback. Sio mtu anakuonea. Good feedback, and they can tell you, if you can only learn financial management, cash flow management, if you can only learn to talk nicely, communication skills, if you can only learn, if you can only be disciplined in going to your work early, or being transparent, or being, if you can, then you can maximize, you can put your energy in that area. You can learn online, you can self-learn. There's millions and millions of articles, of channels, of even online courses which are free. You can go further and even go to school. For you who want to have your master's, do your degree, do your PhD, go ahead and do personal development. Learn as much as you can. Do you need to read a book every day? Some of us don't want those engagements, but yet we can go online on social media the whole day. And we can go on TikTok the whole day. I want to challenge somebody here. If you want to have, if you really, really at a position where you feel I need a total change, I want to challenge you. Go on your phone and remove your social media handles. Remove TikTok, because they condense your time, and at the end of the day, you sleep feeling depressed because you did not even do work. As in, your life is watching other people achieve their lives. So the time that you, because that is one of the key areas that we are having a challenge in our generation. So the hours that you're spending there, if you want things to start aligning, because the moment your mind start becoming, the first instance, first 3-4 days, you start feeling very unusual because you don't even have time. You have a lot of time. You don't even know what to do. But the moment you start doing it, you start getting areas on what you're supposed to do in that extra hour. By the way, learning is very difficult. If you set yourself to learn on YouTube, not unless you're very disciplined and you know what you're looking for, you learn for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. The others, you start switching to something different. So this is a conscious decision that this is the version of, this is the person that I want to become. And this is the journey. And this journey, I'm going to be on it every single day. Personal development. This is, if you hack that area, you can become anything. So the other one is getting an accountability partner. So this is very important. Get an accountability partner. What are partners for? I know some of you have friends, but do you have very good friends that you can share the goals with? You can pray together. You can monitor one another. You can tell them, now, from today, I'll not be doing ABCD. And they can hold you accountable, not to discourage you, not to put you down, but tell you, remind you that this is where you said you wanted, and you're there, and you monitor one another. So getting an accountability partner is very, very important. The final one, and it is extremely, actually, if you get this, if you get coaching, you now take your goals to the next level. And this is what I wanted to talk about. Since last year, 2023, I got a coach. And this is something that, sometimes you don't feel like something is important. I came to learn that that is important at that particular point. So the coach is able to look at your goals and the dreams that you want to have and help you in achieving them. That is what coaching is all about. And most of the time you come to a point of paying. So some of us want coaching, which is free of charge. So if you want to achieve your goals faster, get to a coaching that is you're paying for it, so that you get a pinch of it, so that when you talk about achieving something, you can achieve because you're spending. So my coach told me, Regina, give me 10-year goals. I've been doing my goals mostly 1 year. I've never thought of things beyond. I have desires, but getting goals beyond 1 year. So 10 years, first of all, I got to a place where I said, I need to really think about it. I need to pray. I need to trust God. I need God to show me what his direction is for my life for the next 10 years. So I took a bit of prayer retreat and writing. It told me, just give me 10. And that time when I was going, I had my 2023 goals, which for me, I don't write 10. I write 100. I have so many. So the moment you start writing, you start putting more of them. And when you understand the art, you can expand. So I had 100 of mine. So when I took to him and he went through, he was like, I love what you've written. It's ambitious, it's good, but I want you to go back and give me 10 years. And it got me to a place where I was shocked, and I was like, and he told me, I know you're shocked because it is 10 years. With COVID and so many things, we always believe that life, you live one day at a time. Let me tell you, I'm not 10 years old. I've lived over 3 decades. So he told me, you've lived 10 years before. What if God gives you 10 years more? What would you want? So, and that brought another life, another perspective of the whole, that I would want to live a life that is predictable, that is worth achieving, that is worth living, that is worth looking towards, like it is worth waking up towards. Yeah, possibly that one. So that is why we got the 10 years. And when I took the 10-year, of course, they were extremely, extremely ambitious. Extreme. Come January 2024, because we'll be 2 years on the formula. I'll talk about it, and I know that you're going to be here. Make sure that you come for that one. I'll talk about it. And what we did, the 10 years, we brought them to 2023. So out of the 10 years, we said, what out of these 10, what is achievable in the first year, second year, third year, fourth year? And we started working on that journey. And it is an amazing journey. So if you get to a position where you can do coaching, we do it on a monthly basis. So you can also commit toward that. And it requires money, of course. So let's do the exercise. So I know I've really talked. I want to look at your charts. Before I do that, I want to imagine today is the 31st December 2024. We have 5 full months. Yeah, towards that. What would you like to see and have in your life? So you can, today I'll not even tell you do 10. You can do 5, you can do 3. What? And don't tell me I would want to be happy. We all want to be happy and peaceful and joy and smiling. So we talked about the SMART goals. So this is what I would want you to do. So this is what I would want you to do, the SMART goals. And as I look at your chart. So before you leave this webinar, just do 5. As I read your charts, just do 5 and tell me what was your takeaway. What was your takeaway? Which tax course would you recommend in Kenya? KRA has so many KESRA has so many courses. It has advanced diploma, PG, postgraduate, masters. If you've done your degree, you can do your masters. By the way, by the time they were introducing masters, we had done PGD. So I could have done that masters. Possibly I'll do that in future. You can consider that. And of course, after learning, there is the experience, there is the practice. So Steven is telling me you're talking to me directly. So let me hear your view. What is your takeaway as you write your goals? So tell me, talk to me on the chat. Doris is telling me, are you open to coaching people? I'm not yet open now, but possibly in the near future, That is something that I would want to do in my heydays. And for me, I'm a Dara person. So if we cite that we are doing something, if you don't come down and you've not done it, you don't come back. Just don't just go. So so go back to the exercise. So okay, so let me go back there. Let me go there. So let me hear, what is your takeaway and what are you going to do? What is your takeaway and what are you going to do so that you can, so the person is asking, what is the exercise? So let me have it. Sorry. Okay, I hope you can see my notes. So this is it. Imagine today is December 31st, December 2024. What would you like to see and to have in your life? As simple as that. A simple question like that one. So what is your takeaway? What is your takeaway and what will you do? And because this at this particular point when you talked about it, this is a time for you to do it. Don't wait until Monday. Today is Friday. Oh, after this, I'm going for lunch. And then no, do it before you go to lunch and have those 10 goals. And then you start the process immediately so that you start doing it. Actually, the biggest enemy for some of these things is waiting for tomorrow. Ah, I see. This one is nice. I set goals with you in January. I'm going to see them through for the remaining months of the year. Perfect. So for you who did this, when I was talking, I hope you are looking. And don't leave the process behind. Were you able to do the vision board? If you didn't do now, were you able to pin it? Do it now. Were you able to pray and fast? Were you able to give a seed? Just complete the process. I would encourage you to just complete the process and then we can see the complete the whole entire process. I'm proud when people reflect success on God, for sure. For me, I believe that God makes everything happen. And there are things that we do in life and God says, Regina, whatever you want, have it. You know, there's that time. I always believe there are those sessions where just God just smiles at you and tells you, Regina, for this one, for this specific one, have everything you want. And yet what you want, you don't know. So when that day passes and God is like, what do you want? I have my paper ready. So do you have yours ready? So make sure that you have yours ready so that you can actually specify. And I always find that when we articulate what we want clearly, things start aligning in that direction. And this is something that I would really want to encourage somebody. Don't feel discouraged when you set goals. Things start aligning in that area. Let me give an example. Which one example? Okay. Okay. For instance, let me give an example of us getting media attention or me getting media attention. Sometimes you feel it's a goal, yes, but you're feeling not yet ready for that day. But the moment you move towards that, what you want, you start getting ready somehow. The readiness that comes in. You start feeling ready, and you start feeling like you're now at that particular level. Let me give another example. For instance, I don't want to give relational. Which example will I give? For instance, you've been doing tax, you've been coming here for the tax trainings, and you've gone to KRA or you've not, and you want to explore in that area. You feel, we call it imposter syndrome. You feel not adequate. The moment you set it there as a goal. I want to be a tax expert. or a tax professional. By the time you start speaking to one customer, you feel in a better position. The day you feel by the time someone even asks you and you know they're in a higher position like you, or is in a company that is in a you've never tackled such a company, but you get to a direction that I did for this person, now I can do for this. Then you start moving that area. But the moving is because you set the goal. I hope I'm clear on that. So Naboth has his goal. Build an emergency fund. I love this one. It's a very good goal. Very good one. So how many of us have an emergency goal, an emergency fund? By the way, when you talked about an emergency fund, I've remembered I was reading a book here. I want to recommend it to somebody, especially this year because we have so many financial challenges. Let me look for it. And that is in the book, that was one of the key. Actually, it was the key. Hope you can see. It's called Total Money Makeover. So it commented about having an emergency fund and how much it should be. Also, it also said that you need to have savings of 6 months. Hiyo siku anajua, nilijulia hapa. You have to have savings somewhere for 6 months. That if everything dropped, you can survive for 6 months at ease. So it's called Total Money Makeover. So I love your goal for building an emergency fund. And I know even us, we are right there. Save for a car. That's it. Very nice. Invest in treasury bonds. Learn more about personal finance. Find a coach and constantly review resolutions. I love them. It means it seems that your goals are centered on finances, on money. They are really centered on money. And possibly that is one of the areas that you really want to improve on. So some of us, possibly our most goals will be centered on relationship, others on health. So this is very well. So it means that you really need to do a lot of savings and investments. So you also need to increase your salary. So for you to do the emergency fund, save, how much do you need to save for the car? So you need to get it the exact amount and how much per month and from where. So is it from salary? Is it from a side hustle? Or someone is asking the author. I'll type for you here. It's called Dave. So for you to be able to do that, you have to now go to that extra mile to be able to know where the money will be coming from. If it is for treasury bonds, how many bonds do you want the whole year? Where the money is coming from? It is very, very important. And especially when we do that, do you know some of us actually, even when we are working, sometimes you work on a sale and you get a commission, but because you did not have a goal, you end up using that money unwisely. So it is very important to have it there. Anaitwa hivyo Dave Ramsey, the Total Money Makeover. So I guess with that I can call it a day. Okay, so let me read for Doris. She was gracious, able to give us. I want to quit social media watching. Okay, hatujacheka Doris. Be an intentional parent, be a faithful parent, know my children calling and have them follow God's bidding. Wow. Wow, wow. I particularly love the second one because I'm a mother. And that is very, very important. So for you to be that intentional parent, what do you need now? What are the activities? Do you need to go with them to church? Do you need to pray with them every day? Do you do homework with them? Take them somewhere? Do you need a more personal discussion with them every day? Now you have to pick for it to work, you have to pick now the activity, the specific activity, and at what time. So we'll be praying or reading, or I'll be telling them a story before they sleep. So you have now to specify the activity so that you can be able to achieve it better. And you don't have to do 100 activities together. No, you can set one activity at a time. Grow customer base to 100 clients. I want to make their businesses better. I love that. So grow expert knowledge in accounting and tax. That is very good. So for the clients, there are 100. How many? You want to have 100 clients, possibly in the whole year, or the whole year. So how many do you need to have every month? Where are they located? What do you need to do every day for you to achieve them? Do you need to call 5 clients? Do you need to how do you, who is your ideal client? Who are you looking for? So this is a very bigger discussion, Doris, than just saying I need 100 clients. Who is that ideal client? Where are they? How do I talk to them every day? Where do I meet them? Do I need to call them and send them email? How do I filter them? So this is a very huge discussion, and you have to decide and get a formula that works every single day. Otherwise, you will not get to that level. And when you get that formula that I need to meet 10 clients, 10 new clients in a week, you have to. So we don't do it in January, then February, we are not meeting clients anymore. Then come June, there was Mandamano the whole week, so I did not meet my clients. No, this is a formula that doesn't know challenges. When there's Mandamano, you do online, you go on Zoom, you call them and tell them, we were supposed to meet physically, can we go online? So we are not breaking the cycle because there are challenges, and this is something that will ensure that you achieve your goals. So with that, I call it a day. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. I would wish that, and I pray that you all get to achieve all the goals and the desires that you'd want. And it's a journey. At the end of it all, be gracious to yourself. Sometimes we fall down, sometimes we rise up, sometimes we get discouraged, sometimes we wake up very energized. It's a journey. But every single day, don't lose faith. As long as you're moving forward, even if you're crawling, just make sure that you're just moving. Move. Just move forward. Just move forward. Sometimes we want to pause and just breathe in and out to make sure you don't pause for a long time. Just make sure that you're just moving forward every single day. Finally, I would encourage you to get to networks that excite you. Sometimes we just need to vibrate, and we just need to get in environments that are conducive. So make sure that you're in an environment that is helping you want more of life, want more of yourself, that is energizing you. So these platforms are social networks. They are webinars like this one. There are so many webinars for free, which you can just go. There are trainings, there are churches. Just be in space where you get to meet people. Get to meet people who are achieving what you'd want in life. So the moment you're in those spaces, you also feel positive about life and positive about yourself, and know that the journey is a journey, but you can still achieve what you are looking for. So with that, I say thank you. And we look forward to having more. I look forward to sharing more on this. So if you want to know more about goal setting, goals, everything, just go to my page, Regina Kingori CPAK, Facebook. That is mostly where I share on this. And this year I'm writing a book on goals. I'm not writing a book on tax and financial services and financial management, and I'm writing something from my heart. And this is what is from my heart. So with that, thank you so much. May you have a lovely afternoon and we'll share the notes, both the other one and this one, both for the tax trends and for the goal setting. We're going to share the notes with you, and you can just go through, they will guide you. So God bless you.